The story begins with our main characters, Mizuto and Yume. Mizuto asked her stepsister where she was going. Suddenly, their mom came and asked why they both are still there. She said that there is a bookshop nearby and Yume will love to study the books there, so Mizuto, you may take care of your sister. But they both don't like each other. After having dinner, Mizuto went to wash the dishes and Yume joined him. Their parents felt so happy to see them doing great with each other. Yume told Mizuto that we should not upset our parents by telling them about our past, and Mizuto said, I'll take our secret to my grave, you should not be worried. While Mizuto was reading a book in his room, Yume came and asked him if it was not okay to call her by name, so he had to call her his elder sister. But Mizuto denied and said, I am your older, so you are the one to call me elder brother. But Yume argued with him and said, we were born on the same day and I was born 30 minutes before you. Suddenly Mizuto said, I think we should settle this by playing a game, and Yume suggested, as we promised to hide our previous relationship from our parents and to behave well. So, as we are doing very well, but when one of us screws anything, he'll lose the game. The winner will become the elder, and the game starts now. Yume started checking his books and said, isn't it normal sibling behavior? Mizuto understands her intention but realizes the drawer next to her has some secret things about Mizuto. He didn't want anyone to look at these things, so he said to Yume, I'll no longer be able to fight with you, so please leave this to fight. Yume unconsciously calls him by his last name and Mizuto said, you are out because siblings can't call each other by their last names. Yume turned red. Mizuto said, now I think you got a lesson, so please call me your elder, and she did that. But she said, you are very mean, you don't have to do this cheap thing, and left. The next day, it was the entrance ceremony at school, and their parents were clicking their pictures. After that ceremony, in class, students were asking Yume how she did such a good speech at the ceremony because she got the highest marks in the entrance exam. And Mizuto was thinking about how she got toped in the entrance. Two students came to Mizuto and tried to be friends. They also confirmed that Yume is his sister. In the washroom, they were whispering that they gonna use Mizuto as a stepping stone towards Yume, and Mizuto was listening to this in the toilet. Yume was in her room listening to the sound of the door opening, and Mizuto, while stepping, saw her on the stairs. She said, you know, now the boys were after me? And Mizuto said, they don't worth any time to think, so you should just let it go away, and he went to his room. The next day, while going to school, Yume was following Mizuto and he asked, what are you doing, stop doing this. In the school, the guys again tried to talk to him, but Yume said, we are talking, so you guys may talk later. At night, Yume received a text from her mother that they are late, and Mizuto said, then I'll cook dinner. While eating, Yume said that forget about any feelings or sensations he got earlier on his arm, and Mizuto replied, I have already forgotten about this. While taking a bath, Yume was thinking, is my body really forgettable? She came out of the bath in a bathrobe. Mizuto was shocked to see her in the towel. She said, stop staring with lusty eyes. Mizuto turned red and embarrassed because of her. Yume suddenly realized that what she was doing is not a respectful act, and Mizuto stood up and tried to come close to her. Yume was nervous and Mizuto gave her his jacket. He said, I know you were just doing this to tease me, but I wasn't expecting this from you. She stood up to wear her pajamas, but suddenly they fell on the couch. They were about to come very close and cross their limits, but they heard the voice of door opening, and Mizuto asked her to hide on the couch. Their parents came in, and Mizuto and Yume were thinking that what they were doing is not fair. The next day, a boy named Kawanami walked to Mizuto and asked for friendship, but Mizuto said, I am not interested because I know everyone is after Yume. But Kawanami said, not at all, I truly want to be friends with you. Now their physical examination has started, and a girl named Minami was staring at the chest of Yume, and she was blushing. Minami said, I have only that little, but how yours are very big. Yume said, I have grown just in a year, and Minami started rubbing her chest with Yume because she believes after rubbing she can also grow like her. Yume was depressed about the physical test because she was not good at her physical activities. Minami also said she is not good at it, but when she did the first round she rocked it, and Yume was shocked. Now Yume didn't want to lose, so she gave her 100%. One round after the other round, Yume gave her best to show her fitness. After the last race, Minami and Yume were so happy, but suddenly, Yume was about to faint and Mizuto held her and handed her to Minami and left. Now in the nurse's office, Yume was embarrassed, but Minami said, I had to be careful about your health, so I am sorry for forcing you to do that much. But Yum said it's not your fault, and they had a good conversation. They became friends and Minami said let's call each other by our names, but Yum was shy about calling her by name, so Minami said there is no need to be rushed, take your time. The next day Minami came to know that Yum is sick from Mizuto and she said I want to go check on her. Kawanami said I'll join you, but Minami refused. Now they went to Mizuto's home and into Yum's room. Yum started asking Mizuto where he was. And Mizuto told her I am with Minami. Minami asked to cook food for her and help from Mizuto while cooking. Now they started making food and Minami asked if Mizuto had a girlfriend. He replied no, and she said if you had one then will you let Yum know about your relationships? Mizuto replied she is my sister and I don't think she had to know about my relations. After making food, Minami fed Yum with her hands and left by saying goodbye to Mizuto. Now Mizuto checked on Yum and she said don't leave me alone, be with me, and she held his hand. Now time started passing and Mizuto started thinking about their past where they were on good terms, they exchanged books and hold hands when she got sick. But after they broke up, they saw each other when their parents got married. Suddenly she woke up and said I am thirsty, I want to eat ice cream, give me money to buy a book. Mizuto said I think it's time to check your temperature. She tried to resist, but he checked it and it was normal now. He said why you were pretending to be sick when you were all okay? Mizuto teased a little and was about to leave, but Yum said don't leave me and he said don't worry I am not going anywhere. At night Yum was remembering her past when she loved to put everything in a box given by Mizuto and she keeps staring at the box for hours. She was holding his boxer and started smelling it, but suddenly she throws it and realized what she was doing is not good. She thought when he came to know about this he'll definitely tease me and torture me. So she has to return this boxer as soon as possible. She started waiting when Mizuto will fall asleep and she'll be able to return it. After a long wait, she came out of her room and Mizuto also came out and he was holding her bra. They played rock paper scissors, and Yum lose the game and Mizuto asked her what she was thinking. She said I unconditionally felt like 6 months old version of myself when I used to keep giving things from you in a box. Mizuto blushed a little and Yum asked why he had her bra. He replied when he was in the bath, he saw her bra and suddenly dad came and he didn't get the time to place it back. But she didn't believe in him. Now, Mizuto asked about his boxer, and Yum said she was in the bath and mom came and she didn't get the time to return it. Mizuto settled this scene by advising that we should behave like good siblings at home, and will not interfere with each other's life outside the house. Yum agreed with this idea. The next day, while going to school Yum saw Mizuto with a girl. Yum was angry about this. At school Yum said this to Minami and asked for a solution to this situation. Minami said he is your brother and adult, you don't have to interfere in this. When Yum reached home she saw the shoe of a girl at the door. She took a deep breath and clicked pictures of the shoe. She called Mizuto and asked his help, so he may come out of his room and she'll be caught him red-handed. When she thinks he left his room, the door opens and Mizuto came out of his room. She ran to the door, but the shoe was missing at the door. Yum showed him the picture and asked about the girl, but he said I don't know anything about it. But Mizuto has seen the chair displaced at dining and got disturbed a little. Yum was thinking about the girl and Mizuto. Yum was thinking that it was all her doing. He remembers, a girl came to him and asked to get married, but Mizuto refused and she was Minami. She said I like Yum so I like to live with her, I can only do so by getting married to her only brother. I want to give her a bath and spend my life with her, and from then she started following him everywhere he goes. Mizuto called Kawanami and asked for his help. He said I know Minami is a good girl and she had a boyfriend. Her boyfriend got exhausted by her good temper and was hospitalized, and after that, they broke up. Kawanami gave him advice and Mizuto went to Yum and asked to go for a date tomorrow. In this part, Yum is standing on the roadside and waiting for Mizuto, because he asked her for a date last night. Yum was thinking why he asked for a date, but then she realizes that it might be a siblings date because siblings also go for outings on weekends. Suddenly Mizuto came and he was looking very handsome. Yum got shocked after looking at him. While in line to get tickets to the aquarium, Yum was still looking at him and he was so handsome. After getting the tickets, Mizuto held her hand and stepped on. Minami and Kawanami were staring at them. Now, Mizuto remembers that Kawanami has told him that if he wants to get freedom from Minami then he has to make his brother's complex reality with Yum, and he made him handsome. While enjoying the aquarium, Minami was still staring and Mizuto remembers that Kawanami has told him to always compliment a girl's outfit. He tried to compliment, but he lost his nerve and then he grabbed his stamina and said, "You are looking pretty today." Suddenly Mizuto grabbed her by the shoulder because a man was about to bump into her. She was scared and looking at him and he was smelling really good. But she made an angry face and let him leave her. Now in the washroom, Mizuto called Kawanami and said it feels really very bad to flirt with my stepsister. But Kawanami said if you want to get freedom from Minami then do whatever it takes. Mizuto thought that he was the one who asked for a date so he has to behave and finish it properly. While on the other side, Yum was thinking that she is a real clumsy because she is lost. She was either not able to read the maps, and suddenly, Mizuto called her and she told him that she is lost. Mizuto told him that he was the one who has to look after her, but he failed so she should wait wherever she is. He'll found her. Yum started remembering that 6 months ago she had a boyfriend and they went out for the first time. But Yum and he got separated due to the great number of people there. She called him and told him where she was. After some time he came and offered her a drink and told her that he'll find her always whenever she got lost. Now, Yum was sitting and suddenly Mizuto came and offered her the same drink as before. Now, they continued their date and started enjoying it. They talked, argued, and discussed their thoughts with each other. Mizuto and Yum finished their date very well, and Yum left by saying see you at home. Kawanami texts Mizuto and lets him know that Minami is coming. Minami came and said that on that day he forgot to lock the door and she came into his house, and she hopes now he'll not tell Yum about this. He said absolutely not, but now I think that you'll forget about getting married to me. And she replied, no, I am still at my word, I want to get married. At home, Yum was thinking about the purpose of this date. When Mizuto came home she told him that his punishment is to let her click his few pictures. She clicked a lot of pictures of him. The next day, Yum asked Mizuto to go with her to buy a gift for mother on Mother's Day. Mizuto denied and Yum said if we bought a gift mutually then the price will be divided into two. But he didn't agree. Yum left and got ready. When Mizuto looked at her he was shocked. Yum said don't you think you should have to come with me because everybody will stare and will try to flirt with me. Now Mizuto and Yum were going on the train and due to a sudden break they came close. Yum said you should stay in this pose because it was the first break. After window shopping, they selected fresh flowers for their mother, and she got very happy on receiving the present. Now Mizuto was praying for his late mother and Yum was staring at him. Mizuto said if you want to come in then you can. Yum went in and she sat with Mizuto for moral support. At night Mizuto told Yum that we should give our parents some private time. Yum said okay then we'll go out tomorrow, but Mizuto said we should also spend the night out. Yum asked where, and he said at the hotel, but the prices are great so we should stay at a love hotel. Yum got blushed and refused to agree to the love hotel thing. At breakfast, Mizuto said that we can stay a night with Minami and Kawanami because they are neighbors. Now they met with each other and Minami and Kawanami took Yum and Mizuto to their rooms. Yum asked about Minami's relationship with Kawanami, and Minami told them that they are childhood friends. Kawanami asked Mizuto if he had ever seen Yum's boobs. Mizuto said why am I supposed to tell you if I have seen? Yum got angry on hearing that because the walls are not that soundproof. Now, Mizuto tied Kawanami and started reading his diary. He has written that he wanted to be a policeman and wanted to save Minami from every danger. Minami got angry this time. At night, for dinner, they all went into the same restaurant and ordered their food. For the drink, Mizuto was confused about what to select and suddenly Yum came and said I know how to make a good drink. She mixed some flavors and made a drink. But in actuality, Yum got fooled and because of her Mizuto also got fooled by Minami and Kawanami. After eating dinner, Minami sat with Mizuto and said will you please tutor me, to jealous Yum. But Mizuto said you may ask Yum about tutoring. At night Mizuto was studying and Kawanami was texting Minami because they both got exhausted due to Yum and Mizuto's studies. When Kawanami fell asleep Mizuto was standing on the balcony and suddenly he heard Yum's voice. She was wearing very cute pajamas. Mizuto complimented and Yum said how beautiful the moon is. Mizuto asked if you still remember that night when we were together like this, or if you still have feelings for me. But Yum said, forgot I have said something. The next day after school Minami asked Yum to go home together but she said I want to study in study hall so you may go. Minami and her friends said we know you are topper so you should. At night Yum was studying and thinking about that before in school when once Mizuto topped the class test she set her mind that she'll work hard and top next time. But when she topped Mizuto was looking out of the window, but when she talked with Mizuto he was happy about her success. Suddenly she woke up to reality and went downstairs and take milk. She said to Mizuto that you should study. He replied, I am done already. The next morning Yum was a little tired due to all-night studies. Mizuto asked if the top score is that important to her. She said, of course, being a topper is what my life looks like now the way it is. After the exam, Yum in her room was thinking about Mizuto's marks because she got 94 and was curious about Mizuto's marks. She went into his room. When he go downstairs, she went to Mizuto and asked why he didn't answer the last questions. She said, don't think you are making a favor for me by doing so. They started fighting and their mom came and Mizuto said, now you just wait and watch, I'll show you what success looks like. Yum left with tears. She worked hard and studied all nights and time passed. The day of the result came, and when Yum checked the notice board she was second and Mizuto topped. Now Mizuto came and he said to Yum that if you want to top then you should just have to work hard in finals, and left. Yum thought that her model student image is ruined. But Minami and her friends came and said we know you can top next time so you should just work more hard next time. Yum got sad on knowing about their good intentions and love for her. She started running and thinking that Mizuto was the one who let her know what other students thought about her. She came to the library and saw Mizuto with a girl named Isana. She left and Mizuto spent his day with Isana by reading books and gossiping. Isana asked for his help in wearing socks and he helped her. After school, Mizuto was about to leave when Minami and Yum came. Minami asked about Isana. He said she is his friend and shy to talk with anyone when they saw Yum leave. Yum in her room was thinking about why she is so uneasy due to Isana because siblings don't get jealous. From the next day on Yum started behaving well at the breakfast table, in school, and in the lunch break. Mizuto talked to Isana about her behavior and asked about her opinion. She said you may ask Yum directly instead of asking my opinion. Yum was standing in the window. Someone knocked and he was Mizuto. He was well dressed and tried to come close to Yum, but he teased her. They sat in front of each other and Mizuto asked why you are behaving weirdly these days. Yum answered, I don't know how it sounds, but due to your friend, I got jealous. And I don't know how to deal with my jealousy. Then Yum asked, why do you feel uneasy because of my behavior? He said, because you are my sister. The next day after school, Yum met with Isana and she came to know that she is a tomboy. What will happen next in the story? Subscribe and press the bell icon to know about the latest updates.